What up, all my Mingas, and welcome to the Minga Sports Podcast. I'm Nacho.
And I'm Nacho.
Hey, uh,
I'm not Nacho. I'm Garuta. Hey, yo, wait a minute. Fuck, where is it?
what?
Hold on.
And I'm Nacho.
And I'm Nacho.
Um, what are you looking for?
No, you can go. You can go.
Okay. So we had another week of playoff football. The divisional round is over. Uh, Teams going home. Teams moving on. Uh, just stalling because I can't actually get into the football portion of the
All
podcast
right.
yet.
Anyways,
Uh huh.
um, so we're gonna start out with some news.
You
Everyone loves news, right?
what were you finding?
Don't worry about it. I fucked it up. Everybody
Alrighty.
loves news. Um, so first things first, if you haven't checked out Minga Gaming yet, that video dropped last week, and we'll probably be having videos once a week drop. So keep an eye out for those.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you want to add on that?
No.
All right. Um, other news that dropped today: Sean Payton, former head coach of the Saints, and I say former because he fucking quit.
Yeah.
Um, and then finally, baseball news: the Hall of Fame ballots were counted today and voted. And there's one person who was voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. That was David Ortiz, Big Papi
Big Poppy,
himself.
yeah.
Nacho, how do you feel about this?
100% well deserved. Easy decision. Uh I mean, what more do you want from a player?
Yeah.
Really?
And
Not I am a Red Sox fan, but looking on it as a baseball fan, what he's done to the game and what he's done to the Red Sox franchise, you got to be like, wow, he really was a great player.
yeah, and especially with how long he played too. Like he
Oh
played
yeah.
for almost 20 years. Um and so this was his first year on the ballot. He only got 78% of the vote. And you need 75 to get in, and he only got 78, which I'm just like, huh. But Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Alex Rodriguez, I think Sammy Sosa as well. They were all not voted on. Kurt Schilling. Some big names that were not voted on, and a lot of them because of steroids. I don't know if Kurt Schilling did roids. I don't think so. I think he just barely missed it. But what are your thoughts on the 7-time Cy Young winner and the all-time home runs leader not being in the Hall of Fame?
I think that Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame, and you know, yeah, he did drugs, but so did kind of everyone. You know, I mean, not everyone,
Yeah,
but like a lot of people did, and I don't think that's a reason to make someone not go in the Hall of Fame. Like, yeah, he went from like a beanpole who was like 60 pounds wet to like 50 pounds of muscle. I mean, man was a big dude. He's a big dude. Um,
yeah,
and I mean, he hit bombs. I mean, you threw to him, he was gonna hit a home run, and that's just exciting baseball to watch. He broke record. Like, if he can have MLB records that are like, you know, in place, why can't he be in the Hall of Fame? I feel
yeah.
like
Barry,
if steroid use should have if steroid use kept him out of the Hall of Fame, then it should destroy his records. Like, his records should be valid then if he's not allowed in the Hall of Fame because of it.
yeah, I agree.
He
Um,
100% should be a Hall of Famer.
what was I about to say? Barry Bonds is the only player who will ever play in the MLB who you will intentionally walk when the bases are loaded, and that has happened to him. I'm pretty sure multiple
It
times.
is called the Barry Bonds treatment.
Yeah. Um, I was talking with a coworker about this the other day, and we were just like, you know what? They should just have like two separate sports leagues. One where you're just like, normal sports, whatever, and one where you could just be on any drug. You know? You could totally have the Roid League where just all drugs are legal. There's no tests or whatever, and you could just be on anything to win
I would be
games.
remiss if I didn't talk
And I
about.
want to hear your opinion on this.
I just listened to a tweet by accident.
Nice.
No.
Why not? That'd be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it would, but like, for why though?
Cause entertainment. Bro, imagine the ratings they would get on a fucking steroid league.
Probably not great because I don't know that they'd beat out Major League Baseball.
I think it would get close.
I think for the people who would want to meme on the MLB and be like, funny, haha, baseball, funny, would watch it. But normal baseball fans
No, we're
are
not
not
just
gonna
talking
watch
about
it.
baseball. We're not just talking about baseball. We're talking about
Oh.
all sports. We're talking about all sports. It's like football, basketball too. Hockey would be fun. You know?
Holy shit! Can you imagine? O linemen would become tight ends.
Dude, easily. Like that would be fun to watch. All right, anyways, moving on.
That would.
Oh,
That's interesting. I don't know.
yeah, I'll just leave that for you to sit on for a while.
Yeah.
Um, games were played. Football games were played this weekend.
Yep. Playoff games.
And I think this was the best week of playoffs I have ever watched.
Yeah.
I think this is the best week of playoffs that probably has ever happened.
Aside from an exception, every game was amazing and beautiful and just it's everything you want of playoff football. It's everything you wanted.
Yeah. And we'll start with we'll start with the one that was excluded from that, which is the Niners and the Packers, because this was a weird game. It was snowing in Lambeau. It was like 5 degrees or something.
Yeah.
And it was not good.
Aaron Rodgers, he played like average. He played like an average quarterback against a good 49ers defense, which took advantage of him playing like they started the drive and he didn't. I don't think he had like a third down that entire drive, and he got a touchdown for their first drive of the game. Got a touchdown. Like, okay, set the mood. And they could
And then
not.
it
They did not
stayed-
find a rhythm. They could not find a rhythm.
I think it stayed at it stayed at 7-0 until like the third quarter. And like midway through the third quarter. And it was, like the first half was just a snooze fest. It was boring. The fourth quarter it got more interesting, but holy shit, the Packers special teams are probably the worst special teams play I've seen in a while.
It was
Especially from
abysmal.
a playoff team. So in the second quarter, I think they had a missed field goal, or a blocked field goal. I mean, so the Packers had a field goal blocked. All right, bad blocking, whatever. And then late in the fourth quarter, with like 5 minutes left, there was a blocked punt that was returned for a touchdown. And this isn't the first time we've seen the Packers have bad special teams. Like they had that game against the Bears that was way too close because they just gave up so many return yards, so much. Like if I'm the Packers, if I'm Matt LaFleur, I would immediately fire your special teams coordinator. Like you need to bring in someone who knows what they're doing with special teams. Because what you just had, like you lost the game through special teams. You lost the playoff game because of that one position. So you need to reevaluate that, I think.
And also, undoubtedly Aaron Rodgers, regular season MVP. He's gonna win the MVP again, two times in a row.
You think?
Yeah.
All right.
And, undoubtedly he plays great in the regular season. He has the stats to back it up. His postseason stats are abysmal. He's gotten it done once. He cannot keep it. And he should have, like, on paper, he had the best chance to win this game because you have Aaron Jones, you have Devontae Adams, you have Alan Zard, you have
brought
Randall.
back Randall
You
Cobb.
brought back Randall Cobb, and I pulled up the stats to look. Devontae Adams, 11 targets. Alan Lazard, 1. Randall Cobb, 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then Aaron Jones, who did literally everything on offense,
And AJ Dillon.
Yeah, had 10 targets. I'm talking about, well, he had receiving yards is what I'm talking about here. He had 10 targets for 129 yards. And Devontae Adams, 11 targets for 90 yards, or 9 receptions, should I say? And what the hell? Like, I don't remember every single play from this game, but you got to throw it to someone else, man.
Yeah, when teams watch the Packers enough, they should know. Watch out for Devontae Adams as a receiving threat, and watch out for Aaron Jones as a receiving threat. And if you can shut them down, a lot of their offensive game plan just is gone. It's out the window at that point. Rodgers can't scramble out of that situation because he's old, he's slow, and so you're gonna have him make a play with one of his other receivers, whether it be Cobb, Lazard, Valdez-Scantling, and by the time playoffs come and the Packers are playing like actual good teams, because their division's not that great. Half their games are playing Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah.
All of them finished with losing records this season. So once you get to play good teams and you're already figured out, I mean, you're kind of done. And it's been like this the last couple of times the Packers have been in the playoffs. They made it to the last couple NFC Championship games. They lost to the Bucks, and then they lost to the Niners before. Because they figured it out. They've had a steady defense that shuts down Aaron Rodgers.
And I don't know, do we want to talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation now or later?
Yeah, talk about it now. It's
Okay.
already relevant.
Aaron Rodgers' situation is questionable. He's talked about, after the game, he was talking about all of his, he could retire. I mean, he's been talking about retiring for years, but also mostly as a joke. But not so much a joke anymore. He could retire. Everybody's saying that he, before, the beginning of the season, mid-season, even now, it stayed relevant. Him joining another team, if his situation doesn't get better with the front office and officials and the coaching staffs, because he's been, arguing this and that. And so we got to think what's going to happen to him. And I had taken, so on the Pat McAfee show, he was, as he does every Tuesday, he was talking about, he was asked about, what's going to happen with the Packers. Is he going to play again? Is he going to, does he still want to play football? Is he going to retire? Is he going to go to free agency? And he did say free agency, this is a quote, free agency is not, I don't think that's an option.
Yeah, that's mainly because he still has 2 years left with the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way that the Packers just release him. Because going into next season, I think they're second in the league over cap.
38 million?
Yeah, they're like 38 million over cap. Releasing Rodgers would free up or not releasing Rodgers. Trading Rodgers and having another team take his contract would free up about $27 million.
So not even, that's not really a lot.
It's like 2/3 of what you're over cap with already, and they haven't re-signed Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So their best option, if is either Rodgers plays with the Packers and restructures his contract, or he requests a trade and another team takes on his contract.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wouldn't be surprised by either of those. I've seen a lot of landing spots for Rodgers is right now Denver, and I've seen a lot of Pittsburgh as of late as well. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a very interesting offseason regarding Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and he was also talking about, and this has been relevant news, how his relationship with the Packers front office has been getting better. He's been talking. He's been
Mm-hmm.
you know repairing relationships, and it sounds the way he talks, he wants to stay as a Packer. That's just me judging by what he's talking about, how I hear his tone.
Yeah, and I think we touched on this last week. Um I think he should be a Packer for life. This has been his team ever since Brett Favre left, and that was a while ago.
Yep.
And this was Brett Favre's team before, Brett Favre got there too. So they've had the Packers have had a history with having good quarterbacks, but I think Rodgers should probably stay a Packer. They've been pretty good to him over the past couple years. It's just they can't finish off a season.
Yeah, and well, I'm trying to think. Oh, he said that he doesn't want to do what Brett Favre did, is retire and then come back. He said that that's completely off the table. He's stepping away from football completely to get his mind right and to make a decision on what he wants. And he said that he would, because free agency and first the franchise tag is coming up. What is that, like in February or something? You can franchise tag someone?
Yeah, I think it's February, March.
And then
They're probably gonna tag Adams, and Adams is gonna like hold out or something if Rodgers doesn't play.
yeah, and then he's gonna announce his decision before free agency hits, because he knows that if he wants to leave or stay, it affects a lot of people. So he has to, get that word
At
out
least he's
there.
being nice about
No,
it.
yeah, he was like, I got to be respectful to all the teams that, because his situation could go any which way. So
Yeah.
he's being good about it.
Yeah, at least he's being nice.
And if Devontae Adams gets franchise tagged,
That's gonna
man,
be the saddest day in sports history.
yeah, because he obviously wants to follow Aaron. And if Aaron
Yeah.
stays, there's nothing really wrong with him getting franchise tagged.
No, if he stays, it's just he's not getting paid as much money as he could.
Yeah, and they posted the like last dance before the season, so don't really know where that goes, but I'm sure that Aaron's going to be probably making his decision before Devontae gets franchise tagged.
Yeah, we can hope, because they are fun to watch.
Yeah, I felt bad watching the Packers. Going back to the game, I felt bad. Like, I remember when we were talking about the game last week, and I said, "There's no way the Niners are gonna win this game, but if they do, that'd be cool." And I was like, I've been going, "Oh, go Niners," this whole time. But now that the Niners won, I feel so bad for Green Bay. I wanted Rodgers to get a ring this year. I really did. I thought he'd
I
get one
want him
too.
to get at least one. I want him to get at least one more before he retires, because
I think he
I think
needs
he is
one.
I think he is one of the greatest and most consistent quarterbacks of all time,
His
without
legacy. Go.
without whatever Tom Brady had.
Yeah.
Because you think of the Tom Brady teams, he had defenses carry him at one point. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he had great receivers play with him on Super Bowl runs. He's had, really good offensive lines. Like Rodgers has like, I got my one receiver, and
And
we can win
and it
games.
works.
Like he's had Devontae Adams in recent years. He had Jordy Nelson
Mm-hmm.
a couple years ago, and it's like I have them, and that is all I need to win games. Because the Packers defense has never,
Yeah, no, the Packers
it's never
defense
really
played
been.
great this game. They held them to 13
Yeah,
points in the
but
playoffs.
I'm saying in Rodgers' career, the Packers defense, I don't remember it ever being stellar. I don't ever remember it carrying games like we've seen some Patriots defenses carry with Brady. I don't remember any of that. But Rodgers has always found a way to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, watching him lose this was kind of like, huh, weird. Weird watching him lose again in the playoffs for a third straight year like this.
It just makes me sad. I wanted him to get a ring, and also if he doesn't, I think once he wins another Super Bowl, if he does,
He's done.
he's gonna Peyton Manning his way. He's just like, that's my final game. I'm done,
Yep.
because because that'll change his legacy from doesn't get it done in the playoffs, hasn't done it in a while, to who's the greatest quarterback of all time talk.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of underrate Rodgers in like the greatest of all, like the GOAT talk. Like you're always like Brady and Montana, those are 1 and 2. I think Rodgers could probably sneak his way easily into a top 10, maybe into a top like 5, maybe
I think top
of
5
quarterbacks.
is arguable.
It's definitely arguable. I don't think it'd be on mine, but it's definitely arguable.
I'd have to sit down and think about
Look,
it, but yes,
yeah, that's coming in the off season, by the way.
it is.
Anyways,
Moving on to some positivity.
let's go to some of our best games. Um, so we didn't have worst. That was just our collective worst game of the
Yeah.
week. Was that Packers Niners? Because it was just kind of. But like, even though that was kind of like, it was still like a good close game. It's just it got overshadowed by the other three
We also
because they were
had
so
I had
great.
high expectations for that game, and it fizzled. I thought
Yeah,
Rodgers was gonna ball out and just destroy the Niners.
but that's also another like, oh, it is also single digit degrees out with wind and snow kind of game, you
Yeah.
know? So, whatever. Anyways, my best was the Rams beating the Bucks like I predicted. Um,
Okay. Can we talk about how the Bucks almost won this game? I don't want to hear. I said that Tom Brady has playoff magic and that he can win
oh
games,
yeah,
and he almost did. So even though they didn't win,
there.
which I kind of like, I was pulling for Brady a little bit. I thought he could pull it off, which he
Yeah,
really should have gone to overtime, but his defense kind of
kind of blew it.
yeah. So Brady did what I said he'd do. So I was kind of right. Anyways, go ahead.
I was watching this game with with my dad and my mom, and my dad doesn't give a shit about these teams, but my mom's a huge Brady fan. Huge Brady fan.
I have a family member like that.
So like she doesn't pay attention to football except Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Brady's on the field. She's like, Tom Brady. But I was watching this game and there was like 5 minutes left. I'm watching and I'm like, surely Tom Brady doesn't pitch a comeback right here. And my dad's like, it's over. They're done. Because the Rams were about to score and they were about to be up by
It was
they're about to
20.
be
It was
up
27-3.
it was 27-13. Because
Ah,
when it was 27-13, the Rams were driving and I'm like, I don't want to count them out yet. And my dad's like, they're about to score. There's 13 minutes or there's 5 minutes left. Um
in playoff time,
that's
that's an eon.
you know, there's 5 minutes left. And I'm like, I wouldn't count out Brady personally. I'm like I wouldn't count out Brady.
Judging by Atlanta Pelicans.
Ooh, yikes. Um, and then they missed a field goal, and I'm like, oh. And then the Bucks got it back, and they turned it over on downs, and I'm like, oh, that's good. And the Rams go 3-and-out. I'm like, uh-oh, again. Brady drives it down the field for touchdown. I'm like, okay. There's 2.5 minutes on the clock. Might be like 3 minutes or whatever. Like, just run the ball, clock it, right? Fumble. Cam Akers had 2 fumbles in this game. One of them was at the start of, or no, it was at the end of the second quarter, right at the end of the first half. As like they could have like scored. They were in the red zone and he fumbled. And the second one was right here, which gave the Bucks the ball in the red zone and they score a touchdown. Or almost in the red zone and they score a touchdown. And I'm like, it's gonna go into overtime and they're gonna fucking blow it. And then Cooper Kupp, who should be the MVP, how does he get that wide open? How does he do it?
I he continues to impress me because I'm thinking like this is just a good year for him. And then he did that shit and I went, I mean, he's not Megatron, but is he like Optimus Prime? Like, what do we call this dude?
I think we should call him Optimus Prime. That'd be funny. But how do you have
Blow it,
total
Pep.
how do you have total blown coverage against the receiver that just got the triple crown? Like you let the corner you let the corner get totally burned and then the safety creeped up. If you watch that play, that safety was creeping up and then Cup just runs by him. And you're already down a step.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't think they would run that play either. I mean,
Why wouldn't they?
I assume
Why
he.
wouldn't they take a shot down the field?
Well, I'd figure they'd run it. Well, it looked like it wasn't meant to be like that. I'm fumbling apart, but it didn't look like it was meant to
No.
gain as many yards as it did. If you watch that play, I don't think he was meant to gain as much as he did.
Well, I mean, they had another short chunk play before that, and then they went straight into uh that play. And there's 30 seconds left, 1st and 10 uh at the 45 with no timeouts. Like after that chunk play, I think if they didn't do that chunk play, it brings it to what third? It would have been 3rd and 11. At that point, I think you clock it and play for overtime. Because there's not a big chance that you can drive 75 yards in 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
There's less of a chance, I should say. Um, but after that chunk play, they went for it, and then I think that 1st and 10 at the 45, anything's available. That's enough time. 30 seconds is enough time for you to take a shot downfield. And if you make it, you can run down there and clock it. That's exactly what they did. And that's perfect amount of time. They stopped it with I think 4 or 6 seconds left.
They stopped it with enough.
Yeah. Like they stopped, ran down the field. Stafford's hustle, immaculate. Ran it, clocked it, kicked the field goal.
And this is another one of those. I mean, we're going to talk about this specific situation later. If it did go to overtime, whoever got the coin flip,
Yeah,
I'd
I would
say.
say. Because both offenses were kind of popping, especially towards the end. Actually, I think if it went to overtime, I think the Bucks would have had it regardless.
What do you mean?
Because that Bucks defense, they forced a mid of the last few drives. So before that made field goal, these were the last few drives. Fumble, missed field goal, punt, fumble. And that was almost the entire second half. Those are how those drives ended for the Rams. So the Bucks defense was stepping up They gave up a touchdown early in the third quarter and then held them scoreless throughout the rest, besides that last second field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bucks offense was cooking because Tom Brady. So I think if it had gone to overtime, I
Tom
think then
spread the ball.
oh yeah. Yeah. I think if it had gone to overtime, Bucks win it, they drive down the field, score a touchdown. If the Rams win it, I think the Bucks defense has a chance to hold on. And then if they get the ball, then it's over.
Which, I
Um,
mean, I kind of like this way better just because of all the shit Matt's been through. I want Matt to get a ring.
oh, 100%.
And
I was
it,
rooting for the Rams. I wanted the Rams to win this game.
I didn't really. I want Matt to win, but as a longtime Patriots fan, you don't want to see Tom lose, especially when
Yeah,
it's
you
not
don't.
against us.
I want to see Tom lose.
Okay, well, you beat us twice, so that's fair.
I
Um,
want to see Tom lose. It brings me joy.
I,
It's like it's like I'm Pavloved. You know, I've seen Tom lose twice in the Super Bowl, so it just brings me joy automatically to watch him lose. Like I'm conditioned.
um, but yeah, overall, really good game, and this was just I like this narrative better of the Rams having a better shot.
Yeah. Yeah, and they made it here legit this time. They win a legit playoff game instead of that one back when they made it to the Super Bowl that one year. Remember that? With that pass interference call?
Hey man, we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't play the Saints in that game. I think the Saints would have thrashed you if they had made it.
What do you mean? It was the highest scoring Super Bowl, man.
13-3?
Yeah, offensive battle.
You guys shouldn't even made it to that game either. Cuz
No.
you remember that roughing the passer on or on Brady?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Man took a pinky to the side of his helmet and then got called for roughing the passer. That game pissed me off. That was such a fraudulent year for playoffs, in my opinion.
In
Anyways, let's go to
anyways,
your best. Let's go to your
or
best. I don't
well,
want to get. I
should
don't want to
we
get mad.
should we talk about Brady might retire?
Yeah, I haven't heard as much as a lot of people, but there's apparently been a lot of buzz about Brady retiring.
And that's because he said it's literally after the press conference, he was getting riddled with questions about, so you're gonna retire, right? And he's like, we just lost a tough game. I'm just focused on the game right now. And then he's like, yeah, but you're gonna retire, right?
Everyone
We
wants
just
him to
want,
retire.
of course.
No one wants him in the league
Everybody's
anymore.
sick and tired of losing to Tom Brady.
Yeah. I
But
haven't heard that much myself, but
but
I've
it's also he's talking. It's a big thought that he might because to spend more time with his kids because they're kids are only kids for so long before they grow up, and it seems that uh his family wants him, so I'd say he likely returns for a year or two at max,
yeah.
because he obviously wants to play, but his family, it seems they want him to call it quits.
Yeah, the way it's sounding, like the way I've been hearing it is like Giselle's gonna be the one to tell him, "Hey, you're done," and he's gonna be like, "Yes, honey."
That's the way she's been at. That's where that's coming from. Is she said that
Yeah,
she wants him with the kids because the kids are still young, and you know
yeah. No, I get it.
and if he
I don't
retires now,
blame.
no, greatest quarterback of all time, biggest legend, everybody loves him. But,
I don't know. You might need one more Super Bowl to be the greatest of all time.
and that's why he's coming back next season.
Uh, so if he does come back, do you think he comes back with the Bucks?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, because he wants to have a ring for 3 different teams. Because the quarterback hasn't done that yet.
Because I think his contract is up with the Bucks. I think it's up.
No, he just signed a contract extension.
Did he?
Yeah, for like 3 years.
Oh, I didn't see that. Hear me out, all
I'm
right?
pretty sure he
Hear me
did.
out. The Bucks trade Brady to the Packers for Rodgers and Adams.
Um. Hey, remember that time when I said I think I lied. Hold on.
Yeah, did you?
Uh
Yeah, what's Brady's current contract? Let's see it. Let's see it.
uh I don't know. What is
Let's look it up.
it's being so vague. Why is this the most vague? I swear I'm not this stupid. It's being so vague about it for some reason. It says he's on a 1 year deal,
Yeah,
but I could
because
have sworn he signed a contract extension.
I'm pretty sure he signed a 2-year with the Bucks. Brady originally signed a 2-year with the Bucks, so he
He'll
is
be
in the
a he'll
last
be a
year of his
free
original
agent in
contract.
23, so he's in his last year of his
He
contract
okay.
right now.
He added a 1-year extension, so he's a part of the Bucks this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Next season, 23 season, he will be a free agent.
I think he's done after that. I think he lets his contract go. Let the contract expire, and then he's gonna go out.
I'd assume so. I'd have to how I said only he's got a year or two. That's perfect timing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see him signing another contract. Anyways,
I did
what
see.
was your
Well, hold
best?
on.
Oh,
I
whoa,
want to
whoa,
add
whoa,
one
whoa,
one
whoa,
one
whoa,
tiny bit more.
whoa.
I saw this idea that if Brady retires, Rodgers to the Bucks.
Didn't I just say?
Did you? Because I
I
wasn't. I was
didn't
trying
I
to find a
just
thing. I
say?
wasn't listening.
I said trade Brady for Rodgers and Adams.
Oh no, I was just saying like.
I don't think so. I think the Bucks are gonna develop Kyle Trask, and he's gonna be their quarterback of the future,
As they should.
as they should, because Kyle Trask was actually kind of dogging people in Florida last year.
And he's learning under Tom Brady
Yeah,
casually.
and people who learn under Tom Brady have done pretty good in the regular season.
They
Cough, cough, Jimmy
they
Garoppolo.
also they also beat Aaron Rodgers in the
They
divisional
also
round.
beat Aaron Rodgers. 2 out of the last 3 years, they have knocked Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs. So, pretty good.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to my best though, is Bengals in Tennessee.
Let's go
Let's go
Bengals.
Bengals. Now, shut up to all you people who in the sports world going like, oh, Tennessee's gonna shock and they're gonna go out there and they're the number one seed and they're all powerful and they got Derrick Henry and like you lost.
Derrick Henry wasn't even the leading rusher.
Yeah, well, because the first two plays were runs and they just shut him down. I think the first play of the game was a tackle for loss.
Yeah, Dante Foreman had 4 carries for 66 yards, and Derrick Henry had 20 carries for 62 yards.
Dante Foreman was actually playing well.
Dante Foreman
He
is
had some
good.
pretty good runs.
Dante Foreman is a good running back. That's just facts.
Joe Burrow, he played decent. I'd say he played pretty calm, pretty good. He made some pretty good throws. No weird whistles this time.
Joe Burrow is one of the calmest quarterbacks I've seen in the pocket. I have to say.
Yeah, because at this point he's conditioned to getting hit, so it's either he's just used to it.
How do you get sacked 9 times
A
and win a
record,
game?
a playoff
And
record 9
win
times.
a game.
Oh,
Like, I saw a lot that the Bengals have given up the most sacks this season, and Tennessee had uh 3 players who had over 8 sacks this season, and it's like, wow, Joe Burrow's gonna get killed. And he did, but he still put up 350 yards.
yeah. Are we gonna talk about how he's been just casually putting up upwards of 300 for the past couple games, like and including regular season? He's just been doing it like it's just a fucking preseason game.
He is dominant. He is a dominant quarterback when the ball is in the air
Cool, calm,
because
collected.
he has such a fantastic cast of weapons.
He does.
Jamar Chase, the rookie, but so fucking talented.
He has 200 receiving yard games in the playoffs, which is a rookie record.
Yep. He has T. Higgins, out of he was out of Clemson in Burrow's draft class, I believe. One of Trevor Lawrence's favorite weapons when he was there. I think. Am I getting that right? I am getting that right. He has really stepped into his own this season and is very good. CJ Uzama, veteran tight end. This man is such an excellent leader in the locker room. He's great, like a great third option for Burrow for his tight end underneath. Then you have Joe Mixon, who's a good running back. I wouldn't say I think he could sneak into some top 5 running backs of the season
I'd say this
this
season,
year.
yeah. I
I
would agree with
think
that.
he's not talked about as much as, Burrow and Jamar. But Joe Mixon, I think you could sneak in there as top 5 tight end running back this season. And you got Tyler Boyd, who's like, man, he's really the 5th option, but he's actually good, which is crazy. So Joe Burrow's just got so much to work with zero offensive line, but it works. And that's all I care about.
And that's why
That
he's
was me.
so confident. And going on with confidence when
Evan McPherson.
Evan McPherson out of Florida, he went out, he was going to kick the game-winning field goal, and he went to Joe. He's like, "Oh, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship game."
He did a warm-up kick, and I guess it felt good. And he stretched his leg a little bit, and then he said that. And then he stepped out there and drilled it.
He's so
Best
good.
kicker this year.
Yeah, people are
I
like,
would say best
"Why?
kicker this
Why?"
year.
A lot of special teams guy like kickers and punters are like undrafted free agents. So people are like, "Why draft a kicker?" This is why.
This is why you
this is
draft
why
a
you draft a
kicker.
kicker.
Let's see his season stats. He's 9 for 11 of 50+ yard field goals.
And he
Yeah,
hasn't missed in the postseason yet.
he has not missed in the postseason.
He's kind of good. You know what's not that good? Tennessee's offense. They played like shit.
True.
Uh, read off your note about Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, you want me to read what I wrote?
Yeah.
Tannehill, he certainly plays quarterback. And then Nacho added 4 years, 1800 or 118 mil be like.
Yeah.
Cuz Tannehill certainly he played quarterback this game.
3
15
interceptions.
15 for 24, 220 yards, a touchdown and 3 picks.
Joe Burrow had more completed passes than Tannehill had attempts.
That's just how the offenses work.
Well, yeah.
Really.
But also because he didn't throw good.
He didn't throw good. That's true. So this is how Tannehill played. The first play, the first time the ball got snapped to him, he threw a pick. All right, whatever. The half ends. It's 9-6. Bengals score a touchdown off their opening drive in the second half. he gets the ball and throws a pick. And then the last pass he throws a pick. So I I don't know. I A lot of people are saying that he was the worst quarterback left in the divisional round. I think that's just wrong when Jimmy Garoppolo played. Um I think Tannehill is better than Jimmy Garoppolo by a long shot, but he did not show it
we
in
have
this game.
we have been preaching how Ryan Tannehill has been playing great this season, and he has been playing decent. You know, like he is a guy, and I remember how we hyped him
He
up
is
one
good.
episode.
He's
He
he
is
is
a
still
good
a good
quarterback.
quarterback. I don't know if he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, especially when this postseason he kind of looked like Miami Tannehill,
He did.
which was not good. But yeah, Tennessee just kind of blew it.
Um, the only thing that really happened aside from rushing is AJ Brown. He went out there and had a game because he's AJ Brown and really good. Rest in peace because he wanted to go to the Patriots and we chose N'Keal Harry
you guys you guys did choose N'Keal Harry over AJ Brown, didn't you?
over AJ Brown and DK Metcalf
Oh, that's a yike. And Debo, I think.
and Debo. That is correct.
Yeah, and
Um,
Debo. Oh, that's funny.
because we're not notorious with our first rounders, but Julio Jones was active in this game. Finally, Julio Jones seeing some action. I mean, he only had 62 yards, but man's got his walker with him, so give him a break.
Yeah. Um,
But
so
this was
I
a great
wanted to
what? Okay.
talk I wanted to talk real quick about Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is blaming Tannehill for this what is it, for this loss. Oh, it's his fault, He put a
Some of it
decent
should be on it. Should be on him.
some of it should be on him. The 3 interceptions should be on him. But if you take those away, he had pretty decent stats. However, in my opinion, Vrabel actually blew this game because um you get the ball back with like 3 minutes left, a little under 3 minutes left, and you you run up a draw play. I think it was a draw play, or just a rushing play for Derrick Henry, gets a couple yards, and then you just don't do anything. You take it to the 2 minute warning. You probably could have run an extra play, but they decided not to. Okay, whatever. 2nd and 7. You're there at the 20-yard line, right? And uh he makes Tannehill makes a pass to Julio for, like 15 yards. Since he has to use a timeout because one of their players is injured. Okay, whatever. 145 left. They run it up the middle again. Or not the middle. I don't know. They ran it again for no gain. Uh and then they do a short check down pass, and it looks like they're just playing for overtime. They could have driven down the field. They could have played hurry up, but no, they didn't play anything. They played normal tempo. They played short check downs and little and running plays. And then 20 seconds left, it's 3rd and 5. You got to convert, and they haven't done any big chunk plays like they needed. And then he throws the pick, and that just seals the game because they're already in field goal range basically. So I would say part of that's on Vrabel for just poor game management and poor coaching on that last drive that they had.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more than anything you said.
Yeah.
Um, but to end off this little segment of my best, I would like to say, I'm with Luke now. Go
Bengals to
Bangos!
the Super Bowl.
Bangos to the chip. I'm rooting for the Bangos.
I also want to see the Bengals in the Super Bowl, only because I don't want to see Jackson Mahomes at the Super Bowl. That is the only reason.
That's fair.
And speaking of Mahomes, segue.
Welcome to our fan voted favorite segment. That
That
certainly
certainly
was
was
a
a
game.
game.
Cause holy shit, was this a game?
Game of the year. This is game of the year, in my opinion.
It is
I
easily
don't think
game of the year.
I don't think a better game was played than this one. And it was the best for last for the divisional round. Um Buffalo went into Kansas City and they left everything on the field. Holy shit. Josh Allen in the postseason, immaculate. 48 for 62, 637 yards, and 9 touchdowns in 2 games. And he lost. He lost the game. That to me is crazy.
And I don't even know what to say about this game. It was, yeah, Luke, Bango's Super Bowl.
Bengals Super Bowl.
Um,
Could not agree more. I'm gonna send you the ESPN win probability chart.
okay. Is it just up, down, up, down, up, down? I have a story about this game. So I was at work because I work on Sundays. But thankfully I took Super Bowl Sunday off.
Nice.
Um,
I also have Super Bowl Sunday
yeah,
off.
I took it off like a month ago. Um, and what was it? Oh, jeez.
Those are very sharp spikes up and down.
And so I'm listening to probably middle or beginning ish of the fourth quarter as I not yeah, at the middle of the fourth quarter. I'm driving home and I'm rooting for the Bills here because at the beginning of Minga I said Bills are going to win the whole thing, and of course
He's a Bills bandwagon.
for this season, yes. But you were going to be a Browns bandwagon, so
I don't want to talk about that. I hopped off. I hopped off of that so fast.
well, I need somebody to root for. So why
Yeah,
not root for the people who kicked our ass? Um,
last week.
yeah, brutally, might I add. But yeah, I was listening to this on the radio on my drive home, and I was very happy. Like, I mean, it went up, down, up, down, up, down, but then it went to overtime because I was home when it went to overtime. I turned my car off, sprinted into my house, and to turn on my computer. But I didn't want to wait for my computer to load up, so I opened up my laptop, and of course my laptop's at like 5%, so I'm like sick.
That's plenty.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and then I watched the end of the game, and it was great. But
Yeah.
which we should go into now, or I guess we could talk. Each side they played great.
Special shout out to Gabriel Davis. This man has been an underrated receiver. He was like the third receiver on the Bills or something like that. It was like Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, and then Gabriel Davis. 201 yards in this game, which was like almost half of his entire 2021 season,
It's
and
like,
4 touchdowns, which is a postseason record for receiving touchdowns.
yeah, Josh was like, "Oh, you're gonna cover Stephon Diggs? Oh, that's okay. You're gonna
Yeah,
cover Dawson Knox? Oh, that's okay. You're gonna cover
hold
Cole
on.
Beasley? Ah, that's okay. I have
On
Gabriel
his
Davis."
I think it was his third touchdown uh
Oh yeah,
reception in
Gabriel Davis
the
has
one in the fourth
four
quarter.
touchdowns, by the way.
Oh my god, on his third one, dude, he put a double move on some cornerback and
Oh, that was the
it
nastiest
was
move.
normal.
I know what you're talking about.
It looked normal, and then he cut, and before he had even like passed him, like before the camera had angled enough to where you could see both of them at the same time again, the corner was on the ground. The corner was on the ground. He had gotten totally like broken his ankles,
Yeah,
and then Davis just walked in the end zone and just caught the ball.
Gabriel Davis was running and he was gonna cut left, like he was going to the back of the end zone, which was the corner was like I'm all over it. But he made the quickest move because apparently he's the Flash, and just cut right. He gestured his body pretty heavily that he was gonna go into the end of the end zone left side, but he cut right, and so the corner was like, "Ah, gee willikers, I am gonna fall," and he did, and then he was wide open in the end zone. But
What is this? I'm gonna check his 40 time because his 40 time's got to be quick, right?
uh, I assume so.
4.45.
Yeah.
4.5, 14 on the bench. Wow, this dude kind of blew in his combine. Not gonna lie. Huh.
Um,
Interesting.
but two giants in the AFC who are in me doing this a lot. Um, Josh Allen, amazing. Patrick Mahomes, obviously amazing. They had a rocky start to the season, but it's Patrick Mahomes, and it's weird because you always want to put quarterbacks under a certain category, like, oh, these quarterbacks are like this or that. Like everybody gets compared to Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, or like in their play style. Patrick Mahomes is his own play style.
He created his own play
He,
style.
Brady, he's a pocket passer.
Yeah,
Lamar, he runs. Josh Allen, he
he's a
runs.
scrambler.
Yeah,
I would say Josh Allen
he's both.
is a
But
scrambler. Josh Allen is a big Russell Wilson.
yeah,
His arm is very accurate, and if he has to scramble, he can do that, like escape artist.
yeah. I was just gonna talk about Russ.
It's just Josh Allen is fucking huge, 6'5", 240, and Russell Wilson's like 5'11" or something like that.
Patrick Mahomes is a unique style of quarterbacking that is, I don't think you can really try to even do what he does. I mean, think of some of the throws in the Super Bowl last year, which he sadly lost, but even in losing, he carried that team on his back. He did
Oh
literally
yeah.
anything he could, but the team around him was crumbling. He made incredible throws. He can sit in the pocket and huck the ball. He has a gunslinger arm. He's
When he's
accurate. He
allowed
can,
to sit in the pocket.
yeah.
I was, I'll talk about this now because I was watching this game with TJ and Shane, and I was like, this Chiefs offensive line did not look good. It looked like the Super Bowl last year if Patrick Mahomes receivers made their catches. That's what this game looked like. Because it seemed like almost every play Mahomes had to scramble out left, scramble out right. He was about to get tackled, but he made this sick throw and someone caught it. And I think if you are the Chiefs right now, your offensive line, who you've poured so much work into for free and during free agency, I think that's your biggest concern. You got to make sure that they're good for the next two games.
Yeah. Of course, Patrick Mahomes is great throwing on the run and making whatever plays up he can.
Yeah.
But so obviously Kansas City won this game. The game went to overtime somehow, and people are complaining about the overtime rules, which I agree and disagree with at the same time.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
the same way.
because Bills, the away team, they get to call it. They call tails. It wasn't tails. I don't know how I remember that, but um,
Josh
and
Allen was 9-0 in coin tosses this season, and then he was 0-2 in this game, which was very sad.
he, obviously the Chiefs won the coin toss immediately, went down the field and scored. Kelsey had a great catch, in the end zone to win the game. And people are saying, why not do college overtime rules? And I disagree with that kind of. I do and I don't, because obviously I like college overtime rules because it gives both, chances for the offenses to score.
Mm-hmm.
And in today's football world, offense is everything. So many rules have been put in place to like soften defenses and watch offensive plays. Um, I I mean, I could kind of see it, but not really. I mean, I think the rules are going to change. It's just going to take a while because I mean, a couple of years ago, overtime rules was first points. Like you could score a field goal. You didn't have to get a touchdown as the first team to
Yeah.
possess the ball. And I don't think the teams are going to keep, or the NFL is going to keep these rules. But it's also offenses and defenses are elite. You're in the playoffs. You're obviously the best of the best at this point. And a big argument is being made that defense is just as important as offense, and that defenses are given the chance to get their offense the ball. And
Yeah.
therefore, either way, the coin toss is equal. What do you think about that?
Well, the way I see it is I saw a lot of like the older people like on ESPN, like Will Bond and like the PTI guys. They're all like, well, if if you want to change the overtime, I disagree because just don't let your Bills fans are complaining about the overtime. Don't let your defense give up the touchdown or whatever. Don't let Patrick Mahomes drive down the field in 13 seconds. That's not even like the defense's fault. They've played a full game. They are so gassed, and that is the best quarterback right now. Mahomes is the best quarterback right now.
I agree.
I think that's like not even a hot take anymore. Right now, at this very moment, Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL.
I would agree.
And they had perfect clock management because Andy Reid is a great playoff coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only coach to bring two separate teams to four straight conference championships two separate times. He did it with the Eagles in like 01 to 04, and then he brought the Chiefs to the conference championship from 2018 to present. So like you have a great coach, the greatest quarterback with, Travis Kelce, who I would make an argument is one of the best tight ends the league has ever seen. And you're just gonna say, "Oh, just stop them. You should just stop them." After you already played a full 60 minutes of game, just stop them. I don't think that argument should be made, especially since the NFL is starting to not allow teams to play defense with all the penalties on them now. You
Mm-hmm.
know? Like you get all the roughing the passer, pass interference calls can be up in the air, defensive holding. It's like, okay, now you're starting to favor an offensive game and you're going to try to just say, well, just play defense. I don't think that's right. I don't think the rules are the best rules, but I don't know. I think it's a weird topic right now. But I did see a couple solutions of how to fix it, and I'm gonna run some of those by you and see.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get your opinion. So the first one was uh the overtime coin toss is or the overtime who gets the ball first in overtime is decided before the actual overtime period, which basically means whoever wins the opening coin toss gets to decide where they want to start for overtime. So if you win the opening toss, then you get to choose you want to receive or kick in overtime. And then everything else is the same. So what are your thoughts on that? I read that and I'm like, this is dumb as fuck.
Okay, thank you. That's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard.
It was so dumb.
I was trying to think of a response that could equalize both sides. No,
No,
what is
it's
that?
dumb.
That just saves you 3 seconds. No, shut
Yeah,
up.
yeah, it does. It does, yeah. The next one, have the teams play out the full 15-minute overtime period.
Ooh, I
I
like that.
I
Kinda. Well,
I
maybe,
like
maybe,
it.
maybe. Hold on. If it was shorter.
Well, because in regular season it's 10. In the regular season it's only a 10-minute period, but in playoffs it's 15.
10,
I
10 minute then.
Yeah, I like it and dislike it. I like it in theory because okay, it's probably the most fair thing to do. That's what a lot of, almost any other sport
Actually, I
isn't
don't.
like take off. But the toll that's going to take on the players,
Yeah, now that I
you're like,
just thought about
okay,
it, no,
you
but
just played 60 minutes, play 15 more or play 10 more,
say if it
like
is 10,
guaranteed.
which I think it should be. Um,
Because most
you have
overtimes are over
a
like the first 3 minutes, anyways.
yeah, which is what I was thinking of how long it takes, especially because teams are like, all right, use all my energy right now to get the points we need. Say overtime drive takes like 3 minutes, then the next
Yeah.
team go and then hypothetically they score. Other team takes it 3-ish minutes, they score, and then we'll give them the 3-3-3. 10 divided by 3. So now
Yeah.
you have around 3 minutes where the first team gets it again, and then they drive down and score, and then the other team has like what, a couple seconds? No, the first team's gonna win that like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, it would have to be like a weird number, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be bad on the players because they're already gassed after a full game, and now you're gonna ask them to play 10 more minutes. Like, hey man, I know you're exhausted right now because you just played your fucking ass off to like be in this game, but can you like do that again for a couple more minutes real quick? Like they're gonna be like, fuck that. You got to get some fresh legs in there to actually be effective on like a
I
defense.
I just thought of a thing.
Okay.
Have another like halftime period, but not obviously not halftime. Have a rest period if you're going, and have this like playoff rule only. Have a rest period between end of regulation and overtime.
So you're
That
talking like a 10-minute period in between?
what
10,
is
15 minutes.
halftime? 15 minutes? 12
Halftime's
minutes?
15. Halftime's 15,
Then
I believe.
I'd say 15, because then
It's
you're gonna
only
get the best the best football you can get, because people are gonna
fuck
actually
it.
get to catch their breath.
Fuck it. Tell them you play again in an hour. You got to get re-warmed up. That would be hell for players.
Because overtime strategies are going to be different. It's going to give both sides the chance to think about it.
Yeah.
I think that's actually, I think that's a really good idea that I just had, is have a rest period and then go into overtime. And then what would overtime rules look like? That's so difficult because
And
like
I think
we already
I
have
think at that
overtime
point,
rules in place.
I think at that point as well, with the playing the full period, what if it's still tied after that period in a playoff game? You gotta say fuck it, run it back, do it again, or are you gonna have another coin toss and be like, oh, you get to receive, next score wins. Like in theory, the like 15-minute period is good, but there's a lot of flaws in it, especially with players. And if it's still tied after that, then what?
Because obviously, say a team scores whatever the points, field goal or touchdown, you'd think give the offense the ball, but then they could match that, and then they might have to keep matching it, which like is college overtime rules,
Yeah.
which is what, the a 2 point conversion
Once
try.
once once college gets to the third overtime, then they start doing the 2-point conversion tries.
Oh, okay. What's normal college over? I don't watch a lot of college football. Is it just uh
I think it's just each team has an opportunity with the ball or something like that. Let me check this real quick.
and I think like no special teams in overtime, like no kickoff, none of that, none of that.
Yeah.
You start from the 25. That's fair.
Yeah, so um They do coin toss. Um, what is it? They are granted one possession beginning at the opponent's 25-yard line unless a penalty occurs. The offense can place the ball anywhere between the hash marks. Each team is granted one timeout per overtime period. Um, each team retains the ball until it fails to score, fails to make a first down, or turns the ball over. Beginning with the second overtime period, teams must attempt a 2-point conversion after scoring a touchdown. Beginning with the third overtime period, teams will begin to run alternating 2-point conversions. So your first overtime is you get the ball at the 25 and you have to try to score.
Mm-hmm.
The second overtime is you do the same thing, except if you score a touchdown, you have to do a 2-point conversion. And then it's like tit for tat. You have to get matched on that by the other team. And then once it gets to the third overtime, then it's the 2-point conversions just alternating back and forth. I'm not like I like these rules for college. I wouldn't like the third overtime rule at in the NFL. But I like just keep going back and forth from the 25 until either a team fails to score or a team scores. You know?
At that point, though, it's just gonna be who's conditioned better.
Isn't that what overtime is right now anyways?
Yeah, I guess actually. Yeah, okay. I like that.
Like at least with this option, the the other offense has a chance. The other offense isn't like, oh, we lose the coin toss. Now let's just go sit on the bench and watch them score a touchdown. It's like, okay, they scored a touchdown. Now we have to respond. Then they either respond or they lose.
Yeah, okay. Now, what do you think about my rest period, like in between?
I like it, but I don't know, cause you're still gonna have to kind of get re-warmed up a little bit, and I think the first part, like the first couple drive or the first drive for each team would just be kind of meh. Like you're not gonna do a lot with it because you've cooled down a bit. But I think it's good to keep it more fresh, I guess.
I'd say they at least need some form of rest period, like not just.
Yeah,
I don't like how it's just all right. Overtime, go.
yeah, I agree.
At least like 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, something more than just all right. We got to go do this coin flip real quick, and then you guys got to get on the field, do kickoff.
Yeah, let the defenses breathe for a minute.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, I think that's all we had to say about that game. Um, Going on to predictions. Nacho, you didn't have a good week.
no,
Nacho went 1-3. I went 3-1, and I had a perfect prediction, which is Kansas City winning by 6.
I had we both got Green Bay wrong.
We both got Green Bay wrong and Cincy right, and then I guessed Rams and
Kansas City.
Kansas City would win.
I
You were
said Bucks
Buffalo and
and
Tampa. Okay.
Bills,
Yeah,
which I was both very close on.
yeah. So I've had 7 perfect guesses this season. I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting 7 perfect out of 174 games, not too shabby. Um, but yeah, let's go on to our predictions for championship weekend. Nacho, we're predicting who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't it feel like the season just started
Just started.
yesterday?
It does. I don't
I
know
said,
how
and I
we're
said,
running out of content.
and I said Rams Browns.
And I said Bills and Rams. Bills Rams.
You said Bills. Did you say Rams?
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
sure.
So The first game is the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Number 4 seed Cincinnati in Arrowhead against number 2 seed Kansas City. Nacho, it's gonna be a close one. Who do you got?
So going back to the Chiefs O line, I think that the Bengals defense is going to get to Patrick Mahomes a lot. I think that they're going to be. I think the Bengals defense is going to shock a lot of people. But they're also against an electric offense, which is going to outplay them just because that's how NFL works. Um, and then on the other side, you got the Bengals. You got Cool Joe and
Joe Cool.
Joe Cool.
Yeah, Joe Cool was Joe Montana's nickname, and then people have started calling Joe Burrow that, and I said, are we really gonna call him that this early in the career?
Yeah.
That's a little listen, buddy. I like Joe Burrow. I think
No, I
he's
know.
a great quarterback.
It is year two.
I do not think I would compare him to Joe Montana yet.
Oh God, no. But Joe Burrow plays excellent. He has an outstanding cast of receivers. I think that it's not going to be as good as the Bills game, probably because of that electric and very fun ending. Um, but I think it's going to be a closer game than people are going to think, because after this game, it's very easy to say that the Bengals are going to get stomped and that the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl for the third time in a row. And
Is that what you're saying?
I see, because I want the Bengals to win. I really, really, really do.
Because that's what I'm saying.
The Bengals?
No,
Oh.
no.
I really want the Bengals to win, and I don't think they can do it, Luke. Sorry. Not that I won't be rooting for the Bengals. I just think from a guessing and I don't know, like Vegas sports betting standpoint, who I'd put my money on, I'd probably have to say the chances are on the Chiefs, because especially they're in Arrowhead. Arrowhead's a hard place to win. I'd say that the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl, and they're gonna win this game by
We go through this every week, buddy. Just pick a number.
4.
By 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are gonna win off of a last second or overtime touchdown, and they're gonna win by 6, because that's just how games have been going recently, and uh, these both have two very good offenses, and both defenses are like good, but also very susceptible to giving up big plays, which both of the offenses are based around big plays. So it's gonna be tight, but Chiefs are gonna squeak out of it because they've just been playing so dominantly the past couple of weeks. Also, the Chiefs might not have Tyrann Mathieu. He suffered a concussion in Sunday's game, so he's questionable. But anyways, the next game,
Yep.
the number 6 seeded San Francisco 49ers are going to take the very long plane ride down to Los Angeles and play the 4 seeded Rams. Nacho, who you got? Who you got in this one?
The Niners have won like the past 6 matchups against the
They have
Rams.
they have beaten.
This Niners kind of own the Rams.
I could see this going each way, but
But
I don't know. It's
it's
weird.
difficult.
This is gonna be a
because
weird game.
I mean, the Rams. Let me go back to the stats real quick. Matthew Stafford put up 366 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Bucks. Like, those are great numbers, and I mean, what did Jimmy put up against a great defense, which the Rams defense is insane. And against the Packers defense, he put up 131 yards and an interception.
This
But
is going to be
I
the Rams offense versus the Niners defense. What can happen there? Because we already know playoff Jimmy's going to come out and be like, and the Rams dominant defense is going to be like, no, you're not doing anything today, buddy. And there's going to be no scoring when the Niners have the ball. But we don't know if Matthew Stafford is going to throw 3 touchdowns or 3 picks. And that is going to be the biggest question. But I'm going to go with the touchdowns, and I'm going to pick Rams by 10.
I'm going to go. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm picking Niners win by Niners win by 3. I got to be different here. I don't know. I'm going with my gut. My gut says Niners win, baby. I don't know. I mean, like, they shouldn't. Like, you can use all the math in the world and you'd say the Rams are going to win and that the Niners shouldn't have even been here.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a Super Bowl rematch.
A lot of people who are saying that the Niners shouldn't be here, like, they haven't watched the past couple of games. Because they shut down Aaron Rodgers and they shut down Dak Prescott. And I think that's all you need to know, right? And in the game before that, they shut down. They had a second half shutdown of Matthew Stafford.
Let's see what we got this season against the Rams. They won.
They're 2-0 against the Rams this season.
Yeah,
but they've won by 3
30,
and they won by 21.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Niners by 3. I'm feeling it.
It's also of note that the Niners beat the Bengals by 3 this season, and they lost to the Packers by 2 after Rodgers led like a 42-second comeback. There's some other noteworthy games from the Niners. Because I feel like they're like the one team where we haven't taken a deep dive on their season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I mean, if the Bengals don't make it to the chip, at least I'll got hopefully Niners. I mean, as much as I want Matt to get a ring.
You can't say that because now it's gonna be fucking Chiefs Rams, and both of your teams are gonna be out.
Nah, one of them's gotta make it. Surely
one of them
makes it.
What are the odds one doesn't? 50-50. Let's just flip a coin on it.
Okay. I have a 50-cent coin.
I have a coin. All right.
I got John F.
What are you
Kennedy.
thinking?
All right.
You thinking heads yes, tails no? We'll do a double flip. What are you thinking?
Sure. I'm gonna flip my own coin to see what we get.
Okay.
Are you doing like the flip it, catch it, and then flip it onto your wrist?
Yeah, I just did it.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me do mine.
Heads yes, tails no.
For Cincy?
Yeah, for Cincy.
Okay, heads yes, tails no?
Yeah.
All right, I got tails.
I also got tails.
Oh, no.
All right, San Fran.
Niners, heads win, tails no. I got heads. Let's go, Niners win, baby. Niners win. Niners win.
Hey, Nacho, I got tails.
Niners win. Niners win, baby. Niners win.
Did you see the coin for the Raiders?
No.
Someone flipped a coin, and
oh no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, someone flipped a coin to predict every single Raiders game this season, and the coin won 15 they won 16 out of 17 games. The only game that the coin got wrong was like the Raiders football team game, but that was a weird game anyway, so I think we exclude it. and the coin is perfect. The coin knows all.
The coin didn't know that it was extra game this season.
True. Yeah, they're like, wait, they're sneaking in one this week? Yeah, fuck it.
Coins can't use computers, so they didn't know.
That's that's actually a true statement. Coins cannot use computers. Anyways, uh Pro Bowl special next week.
Hey, yes.
Look out for Minga Gaming.
Uh,
Fridays, maybe.
okay.
I don't know when.
I got this. Thank you for watching the end. This is the end of our regularly scheduled Minga. Hope you all enjoyed. This is, we don't really have any other sports news. Nothing else has really happened. But if you'd like to watch our gaming videos that we're posting now every third Friday, what day?
One of them. They go up on a day.
And they go up at the end of the week. If you want to see some gaming videos, just go on ahead and, join in here.
Hit that subscribe button on YouTube.
And yeah. If you'd like to watch our gaming and podcasts that are on Minga Sports and Gaming on YouTube.
And gaming. Whoa.
If you want to come in and chat to us, we try to respond the best we can. When we shoot these podcasts live, you can go over to twitch.tv/Nacho Live. The O in Nacho is a 0. Gotta say that because people might not find it.
Hey, yo, 23 views on our first gaming video. That's pretty hype, if you ask me.
If you'd like to watch our videos in audio-only format on the go, just go watch it on any podcast platform.
Yeah, you psychopaths.
We're there.
I think I have like 2 friends who watch it on Spotify.
Right now on the gaming channel, it's the same channel. But right now for gaming videos, we're playing Pico Park. If you don't know what Pico Park is, just go on ahead and go to Minga Sports and Gaming.
It's very good.
It is a good video.
I edit them all by hand, and I'm a busy college student, so if one is late, please don't yell at me.
And with that, you got anything else?
No. Please like the video and subscribe.
Yep.
Because I put a lot of work. I put a lot of work into these.
We'd love to hear your feedback. If you have any other sports topics or gaming videos you'd like to see from us, go ahead and comment them or come into the Twitch chat live and talk to us. And give us suggestions, whatever you'd like. And thank you all for listening or watching, and I'll catch y'all Mingas on the flip. Word to your mother. Peace out.